Did the events of Dragon Ball Daima affect future Trunks' timeline? First and foremost, let me get this out of the way because I know a lot of you are going to sit here and ask, does it take place after the events of the Goku Black arc and whatnot? No, it doesn't, so sit back and let me explain. As we all know, Dragon Ball Daima starts with Goma and Dagetsu actually watching the events of the Buu Saga. And what kickstarts the events of the entire anime for Dragon Ball Daima is the fact that Dabura and Buu are both taken out. So let's look at how the Buu Saga actually went within future Trunks' timeline to determine how the Daima story would have played out within his timeline. Or what I believe how it actually did play out. So as we all know in the anime, but definitely the manga, the Buu Saga actually takes place a few years before the events of the Goku Black arc start. And obviously by the time that we catch up with Trunks, we see that he's already training with the Supreme Kai. Before I go any further, let me preface this. Some of you may be questioning how come the Buu Saga doesn't take place at the same time within future Trunks' timeline as it does in the main timeline. Well, remember in future Trunks' timeline, the androids were actually terrorizing Earth for many years. Technically up until the point of the Tournament of Power within future Trunks' timeline, or at the very least when the Tournament of Power would have taken place. So because of that, the time is going to be skewed. You also have to remember the only reason that Majin Buu was revived so fast in the first place is because of the fact of Super Saiyan 2 Goku versus Super Saiyan 2 Vegeta and the energy that they stole from Gohan. Remember, there was nobody on the planet that was that powerful during future Trunks' timeline up until he got access to Super Saiyan 2, which wasn't until this portion of the story. But let me continue. So as I said, during this portion of the story, Trunks has finally unlocked Super Saiyan 2, more than likely during his training with the Supreme Kai, and he's fighting Dabura. He ends up defeating Dabura and Babidi, which obviously that causes Majin Buu to never be revived. Now you also have to remember that the Demon Realm is also affected by time, so yes, there is going to be a different timeline of Goma, the Demon Realm, and all of that stuff. But I feel as if Goma was definitely mad that Dabura got taken out, but not so mad enough because he ended up becoming the Supreme Demon King still. Now at this point, I think Goma is definitely mad, but he's not mad enough to sit there and go after Trunks and everything, because obviously Buu was never revived, and subsequently he never had to defeat Majin Buu. I think within the Demon Realm, Goma is simply happy that he is now the Supreme Demon King. And truthfully, I think that's where the whole story of Dragon Ball Daima ends within future Trunks' timeline. Goma becomes the Supreme Demon King and rules the demon world, and that's literally it. He rules it with an iron fist. And Trunks is not aware of the demon world whatsoever. But let me know what your thoughts about this are. Do you have a different theory as to what could have happened? Let me know in the comment section. And if you enjoyed this video, be sure to go ahead and follow me for more Dragon Ball content.